Thank you for staying with us. Now, we've been looking at the story of a tweet or a man that we found on Twitter, X actually. And he posted a picture where he and his 3 siblings were in, and he stated that all of them except him are all dead. And he says, use your head and don't let love mislead you. And we've been having persons join the conversation, so you can also join us and call us on 081-0764-1679 or 090-241-63440, or tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewOnTVC. Now, there's also the dimension of some centers giving fake results, like we saw Aisha, who called from Mina, say that they got some fake results. And I recall that there was this family, they said they did every test. They lost their son. That was when they discovered that actually there is a matter of SS in the family, because all the tests they had done did not show that there was AS or SS as it was. So it showed that they were good, they got married, had their kid, but this kid, started falling ill, and it came as a surprise when they went to do a test and found out that this was what the situation was. And they were wondering, how come? Because all the results they had gotten before then had shown AA or a different results, so to speak. So I think that we need to look into this aspect of results that you get at these centers where people go to test.
Yes, which I also blame, when a child is giving birth to, all the tests are run on the child. I know my children's genotype because they went through their immunization. I will blame the government to some extent because of the fact that we really do not have proper data. These are not information that you wait till you're 30-something to even be finding out what your genotype is. It should be at the tip, at your fingertips, what's your blood group, what's your genotype. It's something that you should know as an individual, which from the time you're growing up, from your immunization cards, your parents would even know.
If you have functioning healthcare centers.
No.
Or any hospital.
Even in those days, we had functioning health centers, but it's not spread across. And because of the illiteracy of some people, they don't even pay attention to it. Because I knew my genotype as a child from my birth certificate, my medical card, and the hospitals, the federal government hospitals I've been using.
You were opportune to go to.
So the hospital that every child is giving birth to has a responsibility to know the child's genotype. Parents have a responsibility as your kids are growing, should have this conversation. They know everybody knows the genotype.
And demand for it if it's not done.
It should be done in the hospitals.
But if it's not,
you demand for it, right? So that when these kids are growing up, as they're meeting friends, it's a conversation that, I'll ask you, what's your blood group, Safe? Well, you're not supposed to be eating too much meat. We discuss these things normally. Genotype should be a part of that conversation. So the government needs to do something about this. The private hospitals need to ensure that every child who has been given birth to they should know the way they know their blood group. What is the difference? Is it not one blood they collect to do all the tests? They know the blood group, they should know the genotype. Like the parents know the genotype of the child. When the child is growing up in schools, they do immunization, they let everybody know their genotype. So it saves us the problem of, I'm 30-something and I still don't know what you're talking about when you mention genotype. I'm happy that this is a technological area right now. Our young people are so informed in so many things. And I know that they are selfish, but I don't think their selfishness is like that of our parents. These people are selfish for themselves, so they will not want to open their eye and do ASAS. I don't see this Gen Z as people that can deal with the stress. Because the truth of the matter is every marriage relationship will undergo crisis. But in your elimination process, you determine the kind of crisis you want to carry. That's why you must be smart when you're picking a partner and you're having conversations. The regular marriage, we have issues, money. We have issues, in-law. Some people have different issues. You now want to add picking sick today, tomorrow you're in the hospital. There are people who cannot follow their career because they're constantly nursing their children. You now want to add that kind of huge, and burden. You may not even have money. You may not even be blessed to have money. And you carry that burden on top of in-law. Maybe in-law is punishing you from one corner. Side chick is punishing your husband from one corner. Peking is ASing you and SSing you from one corner.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of work. So please, put yourself first. Leave that love. If you see another person in a few years, you will fall in love again. Leave it.
Yeah, there's a real life situation here on YouTube from Olua Familayo, and she says, I was in a relationship like that when I found out that he was AS as me. I made him understand that the relationship would not work. And I also told him that I wasn't a Christian or believer like him. But he said that we should go ahead, that God would turn every negative result into positive. She said no. She stood her grounds and she ended the relationship, and that was how she was able to leave.
Self-love.
She understood the consequences, and she decided she was going to take her future in her hands as it is. She did not have the same level of faith with him. She stated it clearly to him. He wanted to drag her along, but she said, no, I don't have this level of faith.
Even if I have that level of faith.
Calm down. I'm following what she's saying. Calm down.
I don't want to use that faith for that one. I want to use faith to make money.
Of course, you can use faith whichever way you want to. But she is stating, there are those who want to drag you along. That's where I'm going. That I have the faith that can cover both of us. But she's saying, no, I cannot do it. And that is where it is. So if you understand that if someone is bringing faith to you, I'm going somewhere. If someone is bringing faith to you, and you know that you have not grown to that level of faith, please let the person know. Take a step backward. My brother, my sister, you see, this journey that you are going, may the Lord help you. But you see, I cannot come with you. I'm still growing in faith, and so I cannot follow you. Let me get to that level of faith, or find someone who will help me grow as a hell. We are at the same level as it is. It's important we state that clear when it comes to faith. Yes, we know miracles happen. I've seen it. I have experienced it. But we know if your faith cannot carry it, don't go there. Toby.
Yes. Not every child was actually born in a hospital.
Yeah, traditional birth attendants.
Yes, in this our country. Yeah. So when we're speaking about genotype, they're saying, me where they don't even born me for hospital. So they may not even understand what we're saying. But we see that these conversations are very vital. And then I think that it is very unfair to fake a result of your genotype because you want somebody to marry you. And sometimes it's not essentially a case of forging the result. We see that some laboratories are not equipped enough to give the adequate result because there are people that have believed all along that even going to multiple laboratories, they'll find out that they still have a wrong result, right? So I have a personal experience. So I remember that when I was about to get married, when I started dating my husband, we had this conversation, my boyfriend, we had this conversation, what's your genotype? Said it's A. I said, okay, let's go ahead. And so when it began getting serious, I told my mom about it, and my mom was like, you have to tell him to do a blood test. And he did the blood test. He brought the result. I showed my mom. My mom said, okay, you guys you're good to go. Do you know that, like, a few months into, like, the wedding was supposed to be like 2 months. My mom said, please, you should do another test. I'm not convinced again. At that point, he was beginning to get upset that, what is all this self? He went again to do it. Gratefully, the result was A. So we got married. And do you know what my husband did? He put that result on our fridge. Yes, till our first child was born. Anytime he passed the fridge, he said, that's your result, too. It will pass again. I'll say, remove this thing, at least we know. You say no, the stress you will put me through. But I'm grateful that he did.
It was worth it.
Yes, it was worth it because we don't have that, question to worry about.
Yes, please. But we have Agada on the line calling from Abuja. Agada, good morning. Go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, good morning, Auntie Veronica.
Good morning.
I really love your program.
Thank you.
I do dedicate myself on Saturday to listen to you.
Chai, thank you so much.
Just like the journalist hangout. So
thank you.
It's my television.
Thank you.
The topic of today is loving. And how I wish government should enact a law that anybody who wants to get married must produce a certificate showing his or her genotype. Honestly, we are missing road, and there's a lot of issues around. I know someone that has almost 4 children. As I'm talking to you, in hospital after hospital, which is not healthy for the society. So I love the way people are discussing, the ladies in the house. All of you are very good, nice looking, and
So, thank you. Thank you.
To Nigeria, you are contributing to.
Thank you, Agada, for your time.
Thank you.
You know, while you were speaking, I just thought about what if you say you're having a conversation with someone you met and you ask the person, what's your genotype? And the person lied to you.
Betrayal.
There are people
And the person lied to you.
actually exist.
Of course.
They exist.
How do you handle that? Because the person already knows where you're headed. And maybe the person has had an experience where some persons he loved or she loved asked these questions. And because of that, he's had a series of broken relationships. And he's saying, this one, no, I died here.
So the thing is, at the end of the day, you will still find out.
Yeah.
The marriage can still break. See that run, you're running away from broken relationship. It's better you have, I used to tell people, it's better you have 15 broken relationships and have a good marriage at the end of the day that takes you on a long journey, long haul, than for you to have only one relationship and have broken marriages. So we have to pick our hustle. If this person lied, at the end of the day, you find out by crook or by hook, or probably as you're about getting married, you now finally want to take the test, and you have even bought people have paid for ashwebi. People have
paid for hall.
If you have respect and love for yourself, you will still take yourself out of that relationship. You owe nobody an apology. You owe nobody any society's expectation. You must be married. You must. What would they say about me? Your parents will not be trying to blackmail you. Hey, they will not say I have a child, though. That the marriage has failed, though. You owe your parents. You don't owe them that. You don't owe anybody that, because at the end of the day, it is your life. When we started the show, when I joined the show newly, there was a time we had this conversation, and then a guest came on the show who was actually an SS. So we wanted to hear, how is your experience? You have survived till this age. What would you advise people? You know, can you still give us the go-ahead? Because at least you are alive today, you are an adult, you are doing well, blah, 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 blah. And the person looked at us eyeball to eyeball and said, no. Don't do it. This is someone living in the experience. I said, it is not a palatable one.
Absolutely not.
Every time the parents are constantly, do you know what it means for a parent to constantly be worrying
Even at their
the
old
welfare
age.
of their children, the well-being of they are constantly, so the fear is always there that, I don't know, hey, this birthday now, you are 15, God, oh, you are 16, God, oh, you are 17, God, oh. Your heart is constantly in your mouth because you don't know. We've seen people who got to 28 and they go.
I know someone who is over 50.
Yes, and they go. At any point, it doesn't mean death will not come. Right? But
the struggles.
The struggle that you go through. There are people who are constantly in the hospital. They are constantly sick. They are constantly having crisis. Every day your pikin is looking at you.
Mommy,
looking at
why?
you, mommy, why, mommy? The agony on that parent. Do you want that? No. Rather for the altar. I carry my bag. You lie to me, I can't continue. I carry my bag and I go with my whole self, my mental health, my self-respect. Whatever people want to say should not bother me. When I'm ready, I will bounce back by the grace of God. And God will not judge me because you lied to me. So let's not allow people just bamboozle.
In fact, you shouldn't start a relationship or marriage on a foundation of lies.
Yes.
In the first place.
In the first
It's wrong.
place.
It's wrong. It will scatter. It will not be stable. Yes, you may say forgiveness and we'll forgive each other, but anyway, let's get your perspective.
I think we should take the conversation to discrimination against people living with the disease. Because you even find people that have the genotype AA saying, no, I do not want to get married to a sickle cell person or person living with this disease. So as an AA, as a person with the AA genotype, consider yourself as a gift to mankind. Because exactly, consider yourself as a gift to mankind. I do not think that you should discriminate against anybody living with this disease, and that's if you can see or you so far they have been able to manage their situation. Because just like you said, you know somebody who is about 50 years old.
Yeah.
They're still living.
Yes.
Yes.
She's
So
still alive.
there are ways where you can manage the situation. So if you can help that person to diffuse their genotype with yours, please do it. Do not
Are you
just
AA?
cancel them. I'm AA.
We have.
I don't
we have
mind.
Kulia
Okay,
from the
thank you.
island.
Coming for her.
Kulia, good morning. Go ahead with your contribution.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Kunle from Ireland,
Thank you very much for calling.
Republic of Ireland.
Right.
Yes, I just want to. I'm calling for the first time on a TV show.
Oh,
And,
thank you for calling.
I was impressed when I saw the program, and I can see that this is exactly what's happening to me right now.
Oh.
I met my wife when we were in the university, and before you get into the university, when you were doing your admission process, you will be asked to do all these medicals and all that. That was when I did my own genotype, and I was given results for AA.
Okay.
My wife is actually AS, so when we were dating, I said that, there is no problem. We can go ahead. And we ended up marrying ourselves later. The whole issues come back when I am already in Ireland. And my wife and family, they were still in Nigeria. So, and my last, I have 4 kids. So my last child is SS.
Oh, how come?
And I
How
only
come?
got to know when she was I think 3 years old. So even the genotype, the other results that we did at the hospital then didn't come as SS.
See?
So I was in Europe when my wife called me. Can you believe the result I just got now? I said, what is it? She was very, very angry with me, very annoyed, thinking I lied to her when we were dating. I said I did not lie. I was only following the result I got in school.
Oh.
But thank God now, we were all here now, and the way the white people, the way they take care of it, I think, they don't have SS in their own blood. Something. The whites, they don't have SS. I think SS is only peculiar to the blacks. So when they see that, they take it as a serious something. And now, what pulling out now, what I'm trying to say now is the stress I go through now, because we have to go to the hospital every 8 weeks to do blood transfusion so that the girl can survive. Every 8 weeks, we go to the hospital. They change the blood and replace it with another blood. And her blood is so real that in the whole of Ireland, maybe 1 or 2 people have that kind of blood.
Oh, wow.
So you see the kind of experience we have been through, and we are still going through it. So it is very, very important for people to know their genotype. Even when someone you are dating tells you, oh, this is what I have, you should take the person, both of you should go to the hospital, do the proper test, and get the result, know it. And you know how to go from there. My own mistake was that I relied on the school results, which I am very, very sure that they gave me the wrong result. Then I didn't do it from any other hospital. I only used that result. So that is it. Thank you. I just want to
Thank you, Kunle, for sharing your thought and your experience. It's just a sad one.
There's this comment on Facebook, YouTube that says, from Somi Agbola, it says genotype and blood group is one of the tests that laboratory scientists struggle with in terms of result accuracy. He goes on to say that it is better to always have a second and third opinion on the results.
Very, very important. Like we were just saying, you see, I'm happy that they were able to resolve it. He and his wife were able to resolve the issue because she felt he lied.
Yeah, I know. Bodo Ibo one, they have money to be doing blood transfusion
every 8
weeks. Ha! See the burden.
The financial stress.
But I wanted to talk to. No, I'm gonna go easy on it. I like it.
Bring it on.
To talk about what she said. Yeah, she said discrimination. So I don't agree with discriminating people who have SS. I think we should show them love. It's not their fault that they are where they are.
Absolutely.
It's not their fault that they came in from the decisions made by their parents, right? So we should show them love. However, we should show them love to the capacity that we can. So not everybody has the emotional bandwidth to nurture other people, especially full-blown. Some people struggle to nurture their own children. Let's not even forget that. Not everybody has that capacity to nurture a full-blown individual. And so they may be in love and realize that, oh, this person is SS. This person takes how many trips to the hospital? Do I have the energy? Do I have the capacity to do this? So if that person decides to take themselves out of the relationship, we shouldn't blame them to say, you discriminated or you abandoned this person. Because they don't have. There are people who are great nurturers. As a matter of fact, they have Messiah complex. They look for people they want to rescue. Those are the people that should marry them. So we're constantly rescuing you every time, and I feel good. But if you're not in that space, it will be unfair because we have heard do not discriminate, and you put yourself in a put yourself in a situation where you are now constantly drained, resentful, complaining. Sometimes one partner will have health issues, and the other one will carry their bag and be going. Like I can't deal.
So you should understand your capacity as it is.
I totally
we do
agree
not
with that.
agree with discrimination. It's not ideal. For whatever situation you find yourself, don't discriminate against anyone because they did not choose that situation as it is. Nobody chooses trouble. Nobody chooses pain. But then they found themselves in it. But understand yourself.
Know what you can take.
If you know that you cannot stomach all of these issues, for instance, we had someone saying they go to hospital every 8 weeks. Can you handle it? There are those who have, just stopped working, stopped their career, stopped everything about their lives just to address or nurture people, these children, not because they actually wanted, but because it's a situation they found themselves, and it's their decision that is putting them in that situation, so they have to deal with it, right, as a parent. But if you know that you cannot handle it as a person that wants to marry somebody, tell yourself the truth. I got to a point in my life, right? Before I got married, I got to a point I said I'll be responsible for my actions. I will take consequences for whatever decisions I make. I'm not going to blame another person for that decision. Oh, because they are pressuring me to get married. I'm being pressured to take certain steps. But it is me that will wear the shoes, and I know where it will pinch me, as it is. So I decided to take that responsibility. And so when it was time to get married, and it was, I said, no.
Leave them, me want them.
No, I'm the one that will get married. Are you going to stay in the house with me?
Mbaso.
When I am... Oh God. I'm serious.
I am serious with you.
When I am going through perhaps challenges, will you be there with me? I can't come and knock on your door every day and say, see this situation. You'll get tired of me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, because we all have a threshold for whatever it is, complaints, situation. Your shoulder can get tired sometimes if you say, okay, I can give you my shoulder to lean on.
Let me add something small, not as heavy as SS. There's this family member who was about to get married to this girl. They were dating for a while. And we realized that this girl was constantly sick. Yes. Anytime she's coming to visit, They are medications upon medications upon medications upon medication, constantly sick. We saw this, and everybody spoke up. Are you sure you are ready? You are just starting your life. You want to use all your salary to be buying medicine? There's one thing worrying her on this side, another one on the other side, another one. Every part of her body has issues. I say, are you ready? He said, no, we're in love. We'll be fine.
Married her.
They're not married. Every time, brother is complaining. I'm spending all the money. But say, don't complain. It's you saw it.
Oh, yeah.
She did not hide it. We told you. She did not pretend about it. You decided to carry your youth when you're supposed to be building your life, to be paying bills over and over and over and over. I said, don't complain. Chest it. Chest it. So that goes down to bearing the consequences of the decisions that you take. Everybody should be an adult enough to carry their consequences.
Yeah, I'll come to that, but Toby.
I remember this guy when I was an undergraduate. I liked him, he liked me. But one thing I noticed was that he was always falling sick. But he didn't look like a sickle cell. But I noticed that any small thing, he would say, I went to the hospital. I'm going to Lagos. What happened? I'm sick. I looked at it and said, I like this guy. This guy likes me. But I don't think I can spend the rest of my life nurturing somebody like, because me too, I know they get patience. You see, there are people, just to buttress what you said, that are wired for things, they are nurturers and they can go through that, right? And I think that marriage counseling is overrated. It's underrated because a lot of people just feel like they're disturbing me, Joe. Marriage counseling for what? I like you, talk your own back, you know, and
I like you too.
And they get married. But it is in these marriage counseling classes, especially for the Christian faith, right? Faith, that you would find things like go for blood tests, go for blood group tests, and then there's also this resource that they talk about. I don't know if you know about resource factor. It is another fundamental conversation that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know about it, but it is very, very integral in choosing this. Maybe not choosing, but there's an injection that you should take
before you
get pregnant.
Then after you get pregnant.
If your factors, your figures are not the same. If not, every child that person tries to give birth to would be aborted. You won't. The person won't successfully. And so, like a miscarriage. So these are conversations that a lot of people still are not aware of.
There's
but
so
they are
much
really, really
awareness
valid
that has to
conversations.
go on. There's so much awareness that has to go on. Then I just want to touch on the matter you raised about someone falling ill. Now, another way to help is to direct this person in the way of help, if you know how to help them. Again, it is not the person's making that they want to fall ill or they are having all of these challenges. If they are coming close to you and you know that you can point them in the direction where they can find help, that's another way to show love.
You don't have to be the one.
So you can show them love.
Now love them back.
They nurture us.
You are one of those that
we love them.
You are one of those.
I can love because she was saying, come to us,
Very
come to
good.
us. Yes.
But the truth is, you can show love in various dimensions. Pointing the person in the way of help is a way to go. If you know this person is always falling ill, let's even go through what is the situation? What's your challenge? Have you done certain tests? Have you gone to the hospital? What are the issues that are going on with you? How are you meeting up with your times of appointments with the hospital? What are you doing exactly to get better? That's a way of loving somebody. I hope you know.
Yeah, that's love.
That's love, oh. That's love. It's not a matter of we must get married. We can do other things outside of getting married to show love. We must understand that. You can help someone to be better. You can just point them in the direction of help is important. Let's not always think that marriage
is the only way to help
ourselves to show love.
Let me quickly jump in there and to expatiate on how serious this matter is. I'm going to read out these statistics that says about 50 million people are living with SCD globally, and Nigeria is the epicenter zone with about 4 to 6 million people living with the disease. 1 in every 4 Nigerians has a sickle cell trait.
Wow. It shows that
every 4.
It shows
that's either AS or SS.
Exactly. It shows that there's a lot of work that has not been done, and not a lot has to be done, and it begins with the government. Yes, there are those who are saying we should criminalize the aspect of if you didn't do the test, you should be jailed or whatever it is. there are those who will tell you it's my decision to get married. How does government enforce that in the first place? There are so many things we are dealing with that we have it on paper, but enforcement is a challenge. How does government deal with that? State governments should take up this responsibility.
Yes.
Because they are closest to the people.
Yeah.
Local governments should take up this responsibility.
Yes.
They are closest to the people as well. They know the number of churches on the streets. They know the number of religious houses everywhere. Are they doing their due diligence? How many people are getting married on this Saturday?
Yeah.
Did they do the test? Check the books. We don't do the due diligence. That is
why we're
our
calling
problem.
them out to do that now.
That
So
is our
if
problem.
you're going to, like the customary court, or you're going to register your marriage, it should be one of the criteria. And now there should be a caveat.
Yeah.
That if we find out tomorrow, or one of your partner reports you tomorrow that you presented a fake genotype result,
Send you to jail.
you're going to jail. Because I will not say let the courts conduct the test, because that will be giving them too much
There's
work.
too much work for them to do
But
already.
there should be that caveat there that makes it a law that is
You
liable.
must present your results.
Yes, and it
then
must
we can
be real.
cross-check that it is real.
Yes, and even
Right?
if you cannot cross-check, cross-checking is where the work will be for them, which I don't know how.
Conduct it and make the couples pay for it. You
And
have to
we've
pay for it.
and we've
Just
also
like-
established
With a
that
reliable
even like-
laboratory.
Even reliable
But they
laboratory
can even
self.
set it up.
Okay,
We
wait,
found out
wait,
that
wait.
it is
David
very
is waiting
difficult
for
to get
us.
the accuracy.
David is waiting for
Sorry,
us.
David.
Okay.
It's not
David, good
reliable.
morning. Welcome and go ahead with your contribution. David, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
I want
go ahead.
to talk about my sister. She's SS and she died.
Oh my, so sorry. Hi.
The stories are not even interesting.
They are not palatable.
Yeah.
They are not at all. It's a sad one. You can imagine what it is like losing a loved one. Be it your sister, whoever, you've been with this person for a number of years and the person just goes. I mean, you know, as we were talking, I remember a lady in secondary school. This lady was brilliant now. She was
They're
brilliant.
always brilliant.
They always come brilliant.
Anything, this lady was
On top.
On top. And, you know, she finished secondary school. I think she finished university. We're all, you know. And then the next thing we learned, she passed.
Oh, painful.
Very painful. It was very painful. So the stories we've had today are for our viewers who are young persons who are still looking to get married. You're in love. Tell your partner, please go and do the test. I need to see the results.
People should go together.
Go together.
Go together.
I need to see the result. When the result is out, go
Go to
together. in
another
that
one.
place.
Yes.
Do like 3.
Do like 3.
Because of all these
Yes.
diagnoses
Yes.
that are in a
Evelyn,
things. Yeah.
good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good
Yes.
morning.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Evelyn. I have a sickle cell. So,
Oh, so sorry.
my last born, yes. When I did that test, we did a test initially before getting married. And my husband was told he was AA, why I'm AS. And my husband did that test in Alausa because my wife is a first man. He did that test in Alausa. So they made a mistake in his own test. And we did not know until we gave birth to that last born. It's like, now, the boy is seriously sick. He's even having stroke now. I'm spending.
How old is
Then
he?
spending. He's going to be 7 by October.
And he has stroke?
He has
Why?
stroke now. He can't talk. He can't walk. Now I'm in pain. I'm looking at my son and I'm crying every day. They say I should come to Lutz. I'll be doing blood transfusion every month. At this point, I don't know what to do. The boy is not talking. He's not walking. Before he was walking and talking 2 years ago now, everything become like this. I don't even know what to do. The boy is just sitting down, not going to school. I'm just tired. I don't know what to do.
Evelyn, we're so sorry. It's an unfortunate incident, and it's such an overwhelming one, but we need to call out these laboratories that are giving fake results. How can state governments, I'll go back to the states, they are responsible for this, clamp down on these laboratories that are giving test results, whether you made a mistake because you had a number of tests to carry out, But you should do your due diligence for goodness sake. 7-year-old is having a stroke. The parents are going through pain because
Your
Diagnosis.
Hear the agony in her voice.
their voice.
I think those labs, I haven't heard of any lab that has been prosecuted for wrong diagnosis. We need to start pushing that conversation that once it is investigated, that you as a lab,
You are responsible.
you are responsible for letting them make this decision. You have to face the law. Something has to happen so
you
that
should
they
be
can
able to
more
narrow it down
serious.
to who carried out the tests and the results, what happened. Was there an issue where you mixed up the blood samples? What happened? Then you can narrow it down to the person. If you are saying, don't shut down my laboratory, you are pointing out a person.
No,
but we should hold you
down, no,
responsible.
You shut it
Yes,
down because
we should hold you
you should
responsible.
you should have done your due diligence
In
by
hiring the right
people.
Exactly.
who understand the job.
That understand the job.
Now, people
so
are
angry.
faced with this reality. And so I'm thinking, are there NGOs that cater to individuals living with sickle cell?
There are.
And what
There are a number of them.
intervention? Yes, what interventions? Because now this person obviously needs help. He really
Obviously.
needs help. And not just, don't worry, we know how you feel. Timely.
We do not know how she feels.
You know, I mean,
imagine.
I'm saying that beyond, don't worry, I know how you feel. She needs some form of intervention because it is already, I mean, see the way she's speaking. Imagine what she's going through emotionally. So if there are NGOs that do this, and if there are even government organizations also that cater to people living with sickle cell disease that can get timely intervention, I think that more people would
So
have
we're
a form of
calling on
solace.
NGOs,
Yes, let's call on them.
to reach out to as many persons. Yes, we may not have a number or whoever's number that has called with regards to this, but if there are NGOs, please, let's look for how to reach out to this person. So because a majority of them needs help, so that the necessary help, these people can get the necessary help. It's just sad tales. Sad, bitter tales thus far.
Currently, we have more people with wrong diagnosis, more than those who actually chose the life.
Yes.
So that's what we're seeing from all the calls we're getting.
Yeah.
It seems like there are more people with wrong diagnosis. If they were diagnosed right, they would have made better decisions. These labs need to take responsibility, and government has
Talking
to
about these NGOs, I remember when I think I was working as a reporter at CNBC, and then I found this young boy that had a sickle cell disease. He came into the primary health center that I was covering then for the Lagos State government, and I just felt pity for him. And there was this particular, I've been trying to remember their name now, it's not coming to me. There was this particular popular NGO then. I collected this boy's, I collected his data, his medical records and everything. I sent them to this NGO. After they collected the results, I didn't hear from them again. I kept on calling, I kept on sending emails regarding, I didn't hear from, so in my head, I think there are some NGOs that just collect these results and use it to
get funding.
Yeah, they gain the funds and they do not even...
But that's wickedness, bottom line.
Exactly.
Wickedness.
Pure wickedness. And they do not even take care of
Yes,
this
we know that the
patient.
burden is a lot, but if you are there to help, please help. That's the major thing.
Yeah.
If you are there to help, please help at the end of the day, because I don't want to say so much.
Two
comments.
Yeah, quickly, because we need to
Alera Rupert
shut-
says the results aren't fake. The genotype test is subjective. The renowned researcher said it is safer to do at least 3 or 5 tests and go with the results that has the highest level.
We have to go.
Okay.